What's next?
What did we? Oh, what did we had one other one that we definitely wanted to talk about. Oh, Anthony Cumia.
Okay, this is more nuanced and niche for us, but people that.
But we're gonna put it. Let's put it in the title so that people that do care can see. You know what I mean?
We always talk about that old radio show, Opie and Anthony, and how much we love Anthony Cumia, and that was a lot of our inspiration for the style of show that we do. And those are our guys. Like I love those are my legends. Like if I saw Al Pacino, I'd be like, that's cool. But if I saw Anthony Cumia, I'd be like, that's the fucking guy. So that's where I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Starstruck.
And although he gets a lot of shit these days, even Opie. Because don't forget.
Opie too, man.
Yeah, when you were listening to that radio back then,
dude.
and you didn't know that he was pissing those two off, you were like, yeah, Opie. You even fucking care back then.
I still love Opie, man.
Jim Norton, little Jimmy Norton, one of the greatest ever, man. It was just such an amazing time. And they brought so many talents out. I'm going to give you some of those names. Patricia O'Neal, Bill Burr, Amy Schumer.
Colin Quinn.
Now, Amy Schumer when she was good and stuff like that. Now I know a lot of those guys. I know a lot of these guys changed and stuff like that. You know, obviously, but they all owe Opie and Anthony a big debt of gratitude for helping them along the way. Because I promised you, a lot of them wouldn't even be known today.
A little thank you,
little thank you,
thank you, fellatio.
Yeah. So Anthony Cumia gets on his. Yeah, they should really
sucking him off, dude. He made their careers.
Yeah, and him too.
He gave underground comics a platform and put them in the public eye because he believed in their talents and wanted to expose them to the world. And guess what he gets in fucking return? You want to tell the story?
Iron sharpens iron. These fuckers all knew that they could go on there and he'd be funny enough where they could show out too. But so
his generosity.
Yeah, really. So Anthony gets on his show the other day and he surprises us with a story like that, which is unreal. Their security that worked up there, another guy who wouldn't know any of these people if it wasn't for him. Mm-hmm. Club Soda Kenny was their security. Just pick him up, bring him. He was like he was an ex-cop or an like FBI, something like that. I mean, he was law enforcement or something like that. Anyways, big guy, strong guy, knows how to kick ass, and he does security for a lot of these guys now.
But he worked with Opie and Anthony for years and years. You would hear him talking to him in the studio. He would be on the show. Like
he was even helping out.
He was like family to these guys.
First,
yeah, man.
He was like running Compound Media at first.
Yeah.
Too. So all the contacts and connects that he has is because of these guys. Right. So keep that in mind. So
they paid him truckloads of money over the years.
Dude, ridiculous. He is such a well-off guy because of that. Mm-hmm. So Anthony gets on the other night and he's telling a story that he goes to the Laugh Factory in New York, which is like such like a cult place for comedians and stuff like that because that's where a lot of them get their start. Little. Was like,
it the Laugh Factory or was it the Cellar?
Was it the Comedy Cellar?
Either way.
Okay. I didn't know if he was at the Laugh Factory or the Comedy Cellar.
I think it was the Cellar because he was talking about the table at the Cellar. He's like, this is a shame to that table because that was a table that Patrice and all those guys, Keith Robinson, all of them sat around and shit on each other and bash each other. He's like, now these people are fucking sitting here.
No shit.
Yeah. I think it was
just
the Cellar.
A big slap in the face. Okay.
I know a lot of you are not understanding what we're talking about. We're kind of in our little nerd
for
culture.
For the one that they do, you'll get it, you know?
If you skip ahead, if you don't know anything that we're talking, I'll put in the chapters. So if you want to skip this portion, feel free, but we're going to talk about it for a minute.
Or go look these guys up and realize what we're talking about, like why it was so special,
it's amazing.
Who they are. So he sees so they've had issues over the years because I guess Bill Burr's wife, everybody knows Bill Burr's wife's kind of like chopped his balls off and like kind of made him like kind of scary about, you know, the jokes that he says. Bill Burr's married to a black woman. Fine, who gives a shit? But when you start fucking with his head and his career, that's when things get weird. So he's kind of PC now. Amy Schumer's obviously completely gone off the deep end. Ugh. She's fucking nuts, you know. So Anthony said that they had the Patrice benefit, and then he went to the Cellar that night, and he had seen Club Soda Kenny walked in. Now, keep in mind, he gave this guy a career, and he starts yelling, Kenny, and he's like trying to get his attention.
In his mind.
They're friends. And Kenny like looks at him with nothing but disdain.
And ghosts him.
And then behind him, Bill Burr walks in. Now Bill Burr, he knows there was a problem with Bill Burr, but a lot of his comedy friends were telling him, listen, you need to squash the shit. They were friends before. They were so funny on the radio together for so many years. So Anthony's like wasted. He's like, fuck it. Let me go say what's up. See if I can't like say hello to these guys, you know, and squash the shit with Bill Burr. I think that's how he used it. Like squash shit with Bill Burr. So he gets over there and he walks over and he goes, Bill. And Bill Burr gives him that, dude. You know, like that typical Bill Burr dude. And he said that the tone he used, he could tell that it was a mistake almost instantly.
I should have never fucking done this.
Dude, and I know that feeling. Yeah. You know that feeling. And he goes, you think why are you talking to me when you say that shit about my wife? Like it's real, like mean and shit. So Anthony goes, you know, and Anthony's okay with an argument.
Realizes that there's nothing to be done here.
Exactly. But he's okay with an argument. He's okay with talking through these things. If that's how he feels, talk. Let's get it out. He's a mouthpiece. He's always been. He's wonderful at that.
Yeah.
So he goes to retort to Bill Burr saying that shit. Club Soda Kenny walks up and starts chest bumping him, going, go, go, and kicks Anthony
physically
out of
removes
the club.
him.
Physically removes him from the club. This man
who made these people.
Yes, imagine paving the road for everybody and them running you over and hitting you with their cars. It would be sick.
One of the greatest radio hosts that's ever existed. The greatest radio show that did more for comedy and comics than any other show that has ever existed. All these people made their bones on his show. He was the man that they had to come and see, and that guy was a kingmaker, and he opened these doors and helped these people and made them who they are, and now he's getting his face spat upon.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. No respect.
None.
No respect for this great fucking man.
The famous Philadelphia rant that Bill Burr did, that was an O&A show. Tour. Yeah, that was an O&A show.
Yeah, literally that rant made him famous. And O&A put on that fucking show. They did it every year for a handful of years or whatever, but
he would have been headlining a fucking barbecue in Temecula that night if he wasn't there.
It's
and that's
crazy.
True.
Man. It's fucking crazy. I used to love Bill Burr, but I'm done with that shit.
Dude,
man.
Bill Burr sucks. So his last 4 specials were absolute shit. And you know what, man? I promise you. Oh my God, I promise you. If he was still good and he did this to Anthony, I would say he's still good. He's not. You tell me Killer Friends was a good special. Ugh. Him and everybody fucking sucked.
They bombed.
I'm not cussing too much on this one, am I? I'll hold it back. But he was so
we're upset
bad.
Today.
Yeah, he was so bad. And you know what kills me most about anything, dude? Is just like he'll like how he sets up a joke these days. He says a bunch of safe shit and then says one that might be kind of off color and then goes back
obvious.
To safe. It's sick.
It's always he's playing an angle and he's trying to play it safe and he's careful about what direction he goes in. He used to be, I loved him because he used to speak from the heart and he was a strong personality and he stood up for his beliefs even if they weren't popular. People didn't like see eye to eye with him.
Yeah.
But he was authentic. Now you can hear the inauthenticity. You can hear how he's taking a different stance and changing his mentality and changing the way he actually thinks and believes in what he says. And he picks his battles and he's very careful about what he says and doesn't say. And he's angling all the time. And that's where I'm like, dude, fuck you, man. Like you lost yourself. Every single thing that he used to like rail against, especially when it comes to like being married and like how like a wife like takes your balls away and changes you and all that shit. Everything that he resisted, he has become all of those things. Yeah. It's crazy to me.
And it's odd because it's like, once you get on that stage and you got to worry about all the groups of not offending, how could you possibly really like tell how you want to feel, like you really feel? It's impossible, right? Because now you don't want to step on these guys, so you can't say this. And it's like now it's not even clean humor because it's not even real.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, saying something funny enough where you think they'll be okay with it. Yeah. And how is that?
That's what selling your soul is, basically.
Yes, exactly, dude. Yeah. And this guy on the comment section, he said that his family, his sister and her husband, he said that they were from like, you know, Berkeley and stuff, like total hippies, like total left-wing extremists. Mm-hmm. He said he knew he lost Burr when he was like, what are you guys doing this weekend? And they're in Atlanta now because they got jobs out there. They're total like leftists, right? And they're like, oh, we got tickets to Bill Burr. And he's like, and he knew, he's like, dude, he's done. He's like done.
He's done.
Yeah, like how is this happening right now? You know what I mean? And I thought that was
That's
so
hilarious,
telling,
actually.
man.
That's
damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
And Schumer's disgusting anyway.
She's trash. She's always been garbage.
Dude, what do you think Club Soda Kenny, like, how do you even look yourself in the mirror after that?
Shame on you, Club Soda Kenny.
You bastard.
That bothered me even worse than Bill Burr because we already saw Bill Burr like changing over the years and like I've already processed it. That one surprised me.
Dude, and he was so good. Remember that other crazy guy, Master Po?
Yeah, dude, I love Master Po. Hell yeah.
Dude, that show is so
This is the greatest characters, man. Big A, Twitchels, Master Po, Club Soda Kenny. I mean, that go back, go on YouTube and just look up old O&A clips. I'm telling you, it is an endless goldmine of quality. Not only just comedy and entertainment, brilliant discussions, interesting points of view. I mean, just fast when you could actually talk about everything and express yourself, and you weren't going to get yelled at for doing so. Some of the most interesting and fascinating conversations ever recorded. And I highly recommend, for where you want to start, is just listen to Anthony whenever Patrice was on. O&A with Patrice on there.
shows.
Anthony and Patrice and Jimmy Norton, but especially Anthony and Patrice. Endless amounts of content. It's the greatest radio ever produced.
And Bill Burr knew Patrice, and Patrice brought him in to meet these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Am I painting a picture here now?
Yeah.
You know,
Patrice wouldn't agree with what Bill Burr is doing right now, and he's doing it in the name of Patrice, who has passed away. He throws benefits for him, but Anthony and Patrice were a lot closer, and they loved each other, and he was really his Patrice's friend, and he's being kicked out of this whole fucking thing. But if Patrice was alive, he would back Anthony.
Let me give you like how
we're getting into our nerd shit right now, dude.
This is we'll say a couple more things about it, then. But
no, it's fine. They could skip, like you said.
Let me tell you the shittiest part about it. Okay, Anthony Cumia isn't invited to the Patrice benefit.
I know,
right? But Pete Davidson is one of the hosts.
Dude, that's outrageous. He doesn't even fucking know him.
Dude, no. Dude, and he's awful, dude.
He doesn't like Pete Davidson. Dude. When he did the roast, Pete Davidson was there. He like shit on Pete Davidson.
Exactly.
With Charlie Sheen roast.
Yes.
He and you could tell that he was joking, but he was joking on the square. Like he actually doesn't like Pete Davidson.
Dude, and Pete Davidson is shit, dude. And if you don't believe me, just where has he been since SNL? Please tell me what tell me what a massive talent that guy is. SNL was like his last hope. If your career dies after SNL, then you were never meant to be shit else, and that's true. And that happened to a lot of people. But that kid's never going to be like Sandler or Mike Myers, like how we were talking earlier. No, he wrote a movie with Bill. God, of course, fucking Bill Burr was in it, and he wrote a movie, and you know what, dude? It was okay. But it wasn't great. But then his next movie was fucking awful. I'm cussing a lot. I'm sorry. I'm pissed.
No, Pete Davidson is he makes me laugh sometimes. Like he does have wit, and he like when he does some of it's funny, but he's just too pathetic to me. Yeah. He's a pathetic figure. He's a very like obviously like kind of self-loathing, like self-congratulating. What's the word? What is like brooding, but in a way where it's like poor me. He has a poor me vibe that just fucking oozes out of this guy.
Well, he tries to play like and everything's going so good for him. He tries to play like he's this regular guy that doesn't care about it, anything like that.
That's what Patrice called him out for.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a lie, dude. Like he loved the attention with the Kardashians and shit like that. That's not him. That's not who he is, you know? I don't know.
So anyway, that's what's going on.
You know what sucks about him though? If you talk crap about Pete Davidson, you're automatically you want to hate him, because he like bangs the hottest girls on the planet.
Fuck, dude.
Dude, who cares? You know,
shit. Go get another tattoo, faggot.
No, I'm kidding. Go get some weird tattoo that's just like or some stupid shit. You know what I mean?
It's just a dick shooting cum into his face,
dude. Isn't that
on the side of his neck and cheek?
Dude,
get that tattoo.
Imagine having that much money and not even going for decent tattoos. You just get a bunch of stupid stuff on your body.
Fucking heroin addict looking motherfucker.
He is, right? Isn't that his whole MO?
I'm gonna shit on that dude.
Bastard. Man.
So, we just had to get that out. So, Anthony Cumia, we love you, man. You were the greatest of all time. One day we hope to fucking sit next to you and just banter with you a little bit. That would make our dreams fucking come true. You're the greatest.
The best.
We love this
ever,
guy.
Ever.
Love that man. And Jimmy Norton, dude. I love Jimmy Norton. I fucking love those guys.
Yeah. Sam Roberts is awful, man.
Yeah.
I hated that. I hate that duo, man. I would have kept listening. I would have kept listening to just Jim Norton.
Oh, yeah,
man.
Know? Yeah.
Do you like Chip Chipperson?
Yeah.
I don't like Chip Chipperson.
Most people don't.
Yeah. I don't know why.
It's hilarious. It's so awful. It's funny.
That's
the joke.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, his thing is like he always bombs and he always says the wrong thing at the wrong time, and that's the whole gaff.
I've just never been a character guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I love Jimmy Norton.
Like I think and dude,
a lot of people hate it.
And I know he's heard this over and over again. Like he probably punched me right in the mouth if I said this to him. But it's like I think Jim Norton's funny. I don't think Chip's funny. You know what I mean? Like that old cliche shit.
People say that shit all the time.
All the time to him, you know what I mean? But it's true, dude. Like I think Jim Norton, when he just by himself just doing his own thing, he's so funny. But when he gets on with the characters stuff like that, I get like almost like cringed out. You know what I mean?
It's not your cup of tea.
Not at all, dude. Not at all. It's so bad.
I love Jimmy Norton. But yeah, so